Hi, I'm Ashley Bullington, and this is the Warmup. Last week of the regular season, and there's still so much to figure out. We've got playoff positioning and district titles on the line. It all makes for a fun week of Texas high school football that starts Thursday night. Let's take a look at some of the key matchups going on this week. Let's start with the Battle of Beltline. Cedar Hill at DeSoto. This game takes on several different meanings. First and foremost, it is one of the state's biggest rivalries as the schools are separated by just 6 miles. Secondly, this game has major 7-6A playoff implications. The Longhorns and Eagles are tied with Lake Ridge for first place in the district. The winner will have at least a share of the crown. Cedar Hill's offense has been struggling as of late and will need to pick it up because DeSoto has been putting points on the board with ease. This Thursday night affair will be a must-see. Another district title is on the line in 4-6A as 9-0 Arlington hosts 9-0 Arlington Lamar. The Vikings have been making noise behind running back Jordan Williams, who has rushed for almost 1,500 yards. Arlington relies on do-everything quarterback Jakari Rogers. The senior has combined for nearly 2,700 all-purpose yards and 36 touchdowns. Both teams have clinched the top playoff spot out of 4-6A in their respective divisions, so this game will be strictly for the district crown. In 5A, Birdville will visit Denton Ryan for the 4-5A Division I title. The Raiders have been cruising along while scoring 10 defensive touchdowns. Seth Hennigan has proven to be solid behind center as he's thrown for almost 1,000 yards on the season. Birdville is led by running back Ladarius Mixon, who has ran for 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns. Both teams are undefeated, so this one should be quite the game. Other games to watch out for this week are Saxe against Rowlett for the 10-6A title. And in the private school ranks, Bishop Dunn will be heading to Plano Prestonwood for a district title game. One of the area's best wide receivers verbally committed to a college this week and is going to be leaving the state of Texas to play collegiately. We are happy to be joined by Rockwall Jr. wideout Jackson Smith-Ninjigba to talk about his decision. Jackson, thanks for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Big news coming from Rockwall. What went into your decision to become an Ohio State Buckeye?
Definitely, I just wanted to be around some coaches that treated me like family and be around people that I'm comfortable in. When I went and took my visit, I definitely felt that with the coaches. So I'm just happy to be a Buckeye.
I'm still a bitter TCU fan who lost to Ohio State earlier this year, but we talked about that a little while ago. Ohio State always has really good teams. What is the class of 2020 going to look like, and what do you know about the guys you're going to be playing with?
I've talked to the guys a little bit from the 2020 class. Definitely a lot of talent that's coming in. We got guys from Florida, Arizona, so I definitely think it's going to be a talented class this year in the 2020 class.
A bobblehead winner this season. We loved having you on Wingstop Inside High School Sports, but tell us a little bit about what going out of state is going to be like, a little bit different than playing here in Texas.
Definitely got to get used to the weather. I'm going to miss my mom, so it's far, but it's a business decision to get me to the next level, so I just took that into consideration, so I'm ready to be up there.
You had offers from places like Arizona State, Boston College, and California. What made Ohio State your #1, and what put them above everyone else?
They just, like I said, recruited me hard, treated me like family, just told me on a daily basis. Like I talked to Coach Hartline, Coach Meyer, that like they wanted me to be their man. So, and the tradition there is just unbelievable. So I'm happy to be a part of that.
Talking about the tradition, the campus is beautiful as well. What was something that you loved about the Ohio State campus?
It's really beautiful. It's big. It's bigger than I thought was expecting. So, just seeing just the people and the guys that came through there definitely gave me a goal that when I come to be Ohio State, I want to be legendary. So, definitely.
Talking about being legendary, you're a fantastic player. What can the Ohio State fans expect to see from you when you step on campus?
I would say describe my playing. I'm a crisp route runner. I catch a lot of balls, especially at Rockwall, so hopefully I can bring that to the next level at Ohio State. I'm a playmaker. I love to win. I love to win, but I really hate to lose. That's
Talking about loving to win, the Yellow Jackets have had a great season and it's almost playoff time. What can people expect to see from Rockwall in the playoffs?
We're just going to keep this thing on the road, just keep winning, just trying to bring it back to Rockwall.
Jackson already has an MVP bobblehead on his shelf at home, but we have 3 candidates that may be adding one themselves. Candidate number 1 is DeSoto wide receiver Vontae Shenault. In a must-win game against South Grand Prairie, Shenault caught 6 passes for 69 yards and a touchdown, and ran a punt back for 6 as well. Shenault did his damage in the second half to help blow this game open. Brandon Theus of Trinity was sick all day Friday, but it didn't stop him from putting on an MVP performance. Theus ran for 191 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Trojans disposed of Abilene 34-16. Finally, Chandler Morris of Highland Park had a solid night against Lancaster as the Scots clinched a district title. The junior threw for 237 yards and 3 touchdowns as Highland Park won 39-14. One of those 3 will be getting a sweet bobblehead, but what everyone is going for is a playoff spot and the chance to extend their season. This week on Wingstop Inside High School Sports, Denton Guyer head coach John Walsh will be joining Pat Doney to break down the 6A playoff brackets. His Wildcats will be in the playoffs, but he will be looking at all the 6A matchups. Let's take a look at the rankings after the Week 10 action. The top spot stays with Allen as the Eagles continue their dominance over the Metroplex. Last week, they clinched the 9-6A title with a 54-21 win over Prosper. Staying at 2 is Duncanville. The Panthers are cruising to the postseason as they beat Richardson 65-7. Southlake Carroll got a shutout win over Byron Nelson to remain at the 3rd spot. They have their first round playoff opponent set as the Dragons will take on Capel in 2 weeks. Halta moves up to number 4 as they beat LD Bell 49-14. Cedar Hill drops a spot to 5. They beat Mansfield 10-7, but with the way they are struggling offensively, the Longhorns may fall out of the rankings next week. In 5A, Highland Park took down Lancaster 39-14 and continues their hold on the number 1 spot. Aledo stays at 2 by beating Joshua 58-14. Denton Ryan took care of business against Grapevine by beating them 52-14. The Raiders remain at 3. 4th spot stays with Frisco Reedy as they had a bye week. They will finish up the season against Princeton. And the new number 5 team enters the fray this week with a 41-28 win over Frisco Independence. The Colony slips into the 5th spot. The Cougars are 8-1 with their only 1 loss coming to Reed. Now it's time to cool it down. The Flower Mound Jaguars are having one of the best seasons in school history. They clinched their first district title Friday, and coach says they just have to keep going. A friend of the show, Ted Madden, made the play of the game the other night, catching the back end of a field goal. Pretty awesome hands right there, Ted. Last we go to Cedar Hill. The Longhorns in Mansfield came together after the game to pray for Mansfield's coach Mayberry, who is fighting a battle with cancer. A touching moment that reminds us all that it's bigger than just a game. You can stay up to date with everything inside high school sports by following our social media accounts. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That'll get you ready for the best 30 minutes of the weekend. Wingstop Inside High School Sports, hosted by Pat Doney at 5 p.m. on NBC5. That's all we have this week on the Warm-Up. I hope this has helped you warm up for the finale of district play. Thanks for watching.